Hey guys, it's Drew Brashler with DBB Audio. I am here with the Behringer Wing, and I hope that you've been enjoying my video series that I've been putting out. And if you haven't started from the beginning, make sure to start at the very beginning, as each video goes one by one through the whole board, going from very basic to more advanced towards the end of the series. If you haven't already, check out my blog at dbbaudio.com and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you are most up to date with any videos that I'm releasing. In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the most talked about subjects and one of the most asked questions that I always get, and that's how to set up a floor wedge or how to set up a monitor from this console. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the very first thing that I want to do is figure out where I want my mix buses to come from to feed my different monitors. So let's say I have 5 floor wedges up on stage. Well, let's go ahead and configure those 5 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and press Bus Master, and I'm going to pick these 5 to be my floor wedges. So let's go ahead and select this one, and we will give it an icon and a name, Monitor 1. And we can press the next button, and we are going to do the same thing. Give it an icon, and we're going to give it a name, Monitor 2. Next. Give it an icon, and this one's going to be Monitor 3. And give this one an icon. And the very last one is going to be Monitor 5. Maybe it's the drum wedge. So we can see that I have my 5 floor monitors here. So now that I've named these monitors, Monitor 1 through 5, these are going to be mono setups. These are going to be a mono speaker because I'll have a single speaker sitting on the stage. So let's go ahead and configure these mix buses into a mono setup. And to do that, I'm going to select the monitor, and I'm going to go to this next tab and then press mono. And when I do that, we'll also notice that this light shifts from stereo to mono. And we can go ahead and do that on the remainder of the channels. So now I have all 5 set up in a mono setup. So now that I have these mix buses set up with a name and as a mono configuration, I'm wanting to actually get these out to the back of the board. And on this console today, I'm wanting to have them routed out through the XLR local outputs 1 through 5 on the back of the board. So to do that, we're going to go to our routing section, and then we are going to go and find local out. And then we want to unlock this routing page by pressing the unlock button. And then we can simply tap our Monitor 1, go to our 2, go to Monitor 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you may be a little bit confused as to see why are there 2 Monitor 5s here. Well, if this was set up as a stereo bus, then it would say 5 left and 5 right. But because we have configured this as a mono setup, it doesn't actually matter which one we pick, as it's going to be the same on both sides. Now that I have my routing set up, I'm going to want to turn these up to unity gain so that when I'm adding things into this bus, I actually hear it through the wedge on the stage. So let's go ahead and turn these up to unity gain. Now, the very last thing that I need to do before I start mixing channels into this monitor is I need to make sure that this is set up as a pre-fader setup. If it is a post-fader setup, while you are mixing on your console, you're going to be changing the levels in the monitors, which is not ideal unless this is set up as a monitor console. And that's a very specific thing. For the most part, people are going to have their consoles set up for mixing front of house or at the edge of their auditorium, listening to what the audience is listening to. And if that's your case, then you'll want to set up these in a pre-fader configuration. So let's go ahead and do that. So go ahead and press select on the mix bus, press home, and then go to the second tab down, and we will want this to be set up as pre-fader, and we can see that it already is. And if it was in something different, you would see one of the other colors lit. Now that we have that set, let's go ahead and start mixing things into this. Now there's a very handy button for that called Sends on Fader, and depending on which side of the board I have selected at the time will change what I'm looking at. So I'm going to press Select on my Mix Bus 1 and then press Sends on Fader. And we can see that the left-hand side of my board, because I have my channels selected here, is all muted and all the faders are down. And that is because we have not routed any of these channels to this monitor yet. So if I was wanting to have some vocals in this monitor 1, I would want to unmute them and turn them up. And then additionally, if they wanted to have some kick drum or some drums in that, I would then go find my kick drum, turn my kick drum up, maybe add some rack and floor tom and some snare. And now they want to have some tracks. So let's go ahead and add some tracks and turn those up. Now we have our monitor 5 sitting over at our drums. So let's go ahead and set up him. So let's give him some kick and a little bit of snare and some rack toms. And then he needs to hear the tracks. And this is how we can configure what is going into this monitor. Now, using Sense on Fader, we can also do it from the opposite side. I can go and take a look at my electric guitar by pressing Select over here, and now I am looking at the sends from this fader going to wherever. So I can see that it is not turned up in any of the floor wedges. So if I was wanting to turn up my electric guitarist into the 5 floor wedges, all I would do is unmute them and turn them up. If the lead vocalist with monitor 1 needs a little bit less, we turn that down. And we can do this on both sides. So we can either select a monitor and then turn up the individual instruments, or we can select an instrument and turn that up into those floor monitors. Additionally, with this floor wedge, sometimes you're going to find yourself getting into feedback. And you can use the EQ section in this mix bus to maybe tweak some of those EQ frequencies so you can ring them out. And basically to do that, we would want to turn on our EQ and go and find that frequency. And once we do, we just go ahead and take it out. Additionally, if you prefer a graphic equalizer, we can go in and find the PIA 560, which is an emulation of the API 560. And now you can use these faders for turning up and down. If you needed a little bit more intentionality of having maybe a 31-band equalizer to give you more adjustability over this monitor, you can simply insert one from the effects rack. And to do that, we're going to turn off this EQ first and go find our insert point and go ahead and select one of these effects processors. Once we've done that, we can go find our graphic EQ and turn it on. If it is for a floor monitor, I would suggest to have the true curve off. And you can check out my blog and see why there's a difference between the true curve on and the true curve off. And that concludes this video on how to set up a floor monitor with this console. My next video is going to be talking about how to get an in-ear setup that is stereo on this console. So stay tuned for that.